the world's most aggressive delivery driver. Just kicking down the doors and saying, "Delivery for you," bang.
Hello, and welcome back to the 6th Street Underground, a Zenless Zone Zero fan cast discussing all things ZZZ. As always, I'm your host, Eric, and I'm joined by my ever-wonderful co-host, Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hello, Eric.
Hi, Brian. It's a big day, man.
It's a big day.
It's like a relaunch level big day. Because we're talking about the 1.4, I would say special program.
Special program.
Yeah, but like, I think it's more than that. We'll pull back the veil. What we would like to do is when like a special program drops, do a whole episode just on that so we can keep flowing through. But I got horribly sick and totally am not still sick.
You sound healthy. You definitely don't sound like you're on death's door at the moment.
Fit and
were you going to say fit and fiddle?
I think I was. And realized that was nothing. But I feel like there is so much coming out in 1.4, and they're even like, I think even Hoyo is kind of rebranding this as like a soft relaunch of ZZZ, that it's worth giving it its own like full episode. Which is what we're gonna do today, because there's a ton of things to talk about. It's very exciting.
Episode 11, the re-episoding.
The re-episoding. We got 10 in the pre-run. We got our practice 10. Now episode 11 is now episode 1.
So this is like episode 11 is going to be 1.1.
Yeah, there you go.
1.1 for version 1.4.
Yeah, it'll look like someone's trying to hack your podcatcher when you look at the title for the episode.
If you add periods to things, it becomes technological.
We'll put an X in the middle of it.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, that'll look really cool, right?
Oh, yeah. Start podcast.exe.
Yes, there it is. Code in all capital letters and then a semicolon and then .hack at the end or something.
Yeah, speaking of hacking.
Yes.
Perlman's finally going to wake up.
Perlman's waking up. Chapter 5, they are billing it as like, this is the culmination, this is the climax of the first story arc for the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hype. That trailer, man.
Oh, it's going to be cool. It looks interesting. I know they gave us just a little bit of teaser because they didn't want to give too much spoilers, but
yeah,
based on the material, it looks like, Perlman's going to wake up, something to do with the Helios Academy. Mm. At some point, we're going to have a falling out because we're going to have to flee to what looks like the sewers.
Yep. I mean, they're bringing back from the end of the Bellabog arc.
Oh, the sacrifice.
The sacrifice. Like, the sacrifice is coming back. They're pulling in. Man, that, like, I know it's, like, cheap and, like, kind of expected at this point. Watch 8 superhero movie. But the sequence showing all the different factions coming together.
They love a good ensemble.
It's so cool. Like, everyone but Soldier 11's there. She's just off playing with a cat or something.
Or she's going to be the one hunting us.
Yeah, she's going to be the real problem. That's what we're going to learn about, is that she's, Soldier 11's been Perlman the whole time.
I can see the resemblance.
I'll put a spoiler warning in there so people don't get surprised.
Although if I had to guess, it seems like Victoria Housekeeping would be more likely, since during their interlude, they mentioned that they are only working with us as long as our interests align.
Right, like it's convenient more than anything else. Well, I mean, in Hoyo, they also did say, like, they kept trying to pretend in the actual video that, like, it's going to be a happy, fun thing. It's going to be really nice and pleasant. And we already know that they're going to do everything they can to, like, pull at our heartstring in this. Like, things are going to happen, man. It's going to be really
They
cool.
got a character wielding a cursed sword as she's dedicated to her dead mother that she will never find peace. It is going to be the cheeriest of moments.
It's gonna put the Bernice video to shame with how happy this chapter is. I love the
impressive. I look forward to it.
We'll listen to it for 80 hours straight. I love the combination. Like, we're gonna talk about Miyabi because we're excited about Miyabi coming out. Miyabi is going to be in the next patch, and they're doing something different with the banners.
What a change from when they first leaked her, and you were like, hard
I know,
pass.
man. I don't want to talk about it, but
Hard pass.
I went from like, I don't know about this one to be like, I have to get this character.
Not only because you can kind of tell she's going to be probably at least Jane Doe level broken, if not more, just because she's the first Void Hunter.
She's the first Void Hunter, and I think we talked about it last episode. Like when like if we use their other games as an example, when you have this like special title that gets attributed to a certain character, like those become the chase characters, right? So like it's pretty safe to bet that like if a Void Hunter's coming out, they're gonna do their job really, really well. She's an anomaly character, which she's essentially is just like DPS with a different name.
She's an anomaly among anomalies, though.
She is, because she has a weird element.
Yeah, she doesn't do the normal frost. She does her own. She does. She does Saltburn, or no, sorry, Frostburn. Saltburn's a movie.
She does Mega Frost on people.
Yeah, she does Frost Fire, Frostburn.
I mean, so like just thinking long term, at some point, inevitability of these kinds of games, she will be power crept, and she's more likely to be power crept because she's going to be a more DPS character than like when we get our first Void Hunter support. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, supports generally last longer because
they age better.
It's harder to power creep a guy who just says everyone else is better when I'm here.
Yeah, everyone's buffed. Here's my cool shield.
The only way to power creep a support is by making someone who makes people even more broken.
The same but bigger.
Then you just start going into this spiral of I'm a helper, fear me.
And so far, like I know we're only in 1.4 coming, but like the team's been really good about not straight power creeping their S rank. Right? We've talked about like A ranks kind of get their S rank version shuffled to the side, but we're getting away from the point, and the point is Miyabi and her cute little ears. And her cool,
pointy ears.
Her cool katana that has a thumbprint sensor on it before she can draw the blade. And like the if you've seen the videos, the AoE that her attacks have is insane. Like the amount of area that her attacks cover is
the
terrifying.
Area that she's affecting, you would say?
Yeah. Her area of effect. It's
a large area.
It is maybe, and I don't want to put a stamp on this. She may have the largest AoE like for just built into her kit.
You heard it here, folks. Miyabi has the biggest AoE built into her kit. Eric said it.
Yep.
Put a feather in it. Call him macaroni. It is wild. And I was watching her combat showcase because she applies her debuff. And so I was wondering how she was going to play with other anomalies, and then they throw in that nice little, while other characters are doing their anomaly thing, she's also building her debuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, specifically Disorder, which is what Yanagi procs off. So obviously it's to be expected because that's the route they've gone with all of the characters. Is if they're of the same faction, they generally play nice together. But it's very clearly those two are about to be absolutely nuts together.
They're going to be a lot of fun together, and I'm kind of looking forward to being able to like free up Bernice from Yanagi to go back to my Jane team, right? Like I'm going to have these two like anomaly pairs.
Yeah, my question I was looking at now is, am I going to leave Seth with Bernice and Jane Doe? Because he's not I don't know if he's really going to fit in with them. Or does Caesar go with Jane Doe team and then find a third for Miyabi? I'm
tempted to put Seth with Miyabi and Yanagi, because then you've got 2 electric and 1 ice, and so at least like what anomaly Seth does provide is helping build those disorders up.
Yeah, and you'll get his
Caesar
happy bonus
Jane.
Because he'll be with someone of his same element.
Exactly. But then also, like, sometimes I feel like, to your point, like, Caesar and Jane is overkill in terms of, like, survivability. Because you've got the biggest shield in the game and also 3 dodges. And so I think this is where we get to that fun place. We get to, like, swap them back and see. But, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it's even, like, Shukaku comes back. And it's Shukaku and the Miyabi team. And you've got all 3 of them from Hand or something. We'll see. But speaking of Hand, there's somebody else we haven't talked about. We know Miyabi's coming out. We're also getting Harumasa.
Harumasa.
And
he looks like he's going to play basically the electric variant of Zhu Yuan, where he's got the combination of melee and ranged.
mhm.
I was gonna say he has kind of, his kit looked a little neat. You know, he puts like traps down and he can like target specifically things to try to set them off. So he looks like he could kind of be kind of cool.
He does have a charged shot target as well, which is the first we've had in the where you can actually like select who you're targeting that way.
But he's definitely, he's going back to the regular DPS because he'll need that support to set up the stuff for him to go.
I've seen some like bits and pieces of people trying him out, and like there are some really, really interesting things you can do mechanically if you've got a perfect rotation during a stun with him, which is not the way I like to play games. I don't do great with like really strict rotations. But
yeah,
like,
Anomaly's fun where you just bash your head against them and then everything dies.
It feels more reactive, you know, like when you've got these set rotations, like it's all setting up for this one perfectly executed thing. I really like the gameplay that's like reacting and dodging and shifting in and out and kind of choosing what to do at the moment.
Yeah.
The important thing about Harumasa is everybody gets one for free.
Yes. He also
that's new.
He will be getting his agent story coming out.
Yep.
And something that I noticed, and so I've only played a little bit of Genshin. Okay. But in Genshin, the guild had the little saying of Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Abyssosque, yep.
And then I noticed that in this one, they gave him the Ad Astra something something.
Yeah.
So have you played the other Hoyo games? Is that kind of like a little Easter egg, or is that more of just a one-off reference to Genshin?
They like Ad Astra as part of their like motifs between different games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a direct connection yet, but I'm sure someone out there is already like cooking up a storm.
I didn't think it would be like a direct connection. I assumed it was kind of one of those where they're like, oh, every variation of our game has a version of this phrase, and that's just like that's a MiHoYo stamp that they put on the game.
Yeah, I mean, Ad Astra just sounds cool, right? It's
also was a movie like with stars. With what was his name? Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt was in that one.
Yeah. He's not he's not going to be in 1.4.
No, I don't think he's going to be. As far as we know, he will not be in 1.4.
There's always a chance though.
Keep an eye out. The banners are different this time.
Yes, I really like what they're doing with the banner.
The whole patch. It's just Miyabi.
You can immediately pick the person you want.
Yep, and get them. And they announced like there's over 160 roles
that they're giving us.
That you're going to like if you do everything in the game.
Because you'll have the story, you'll have all the events. Story. You get the 10 free.
Mm-hmm. Two rounds of that because we've got 2 characters.
Are they doing 2 rounds? I thought they were just doing 1.
I think they're doing 2 rounds of that. So that's like 20 roles plus a whole bunch of like events and mini events, and they're retooling the way the first couple of chapters work. And like this does feel like their relaunch, so they're putting out a lot of roles for us. So if you are somebody who tapped out trying to get lighter and you really want Miyabi, do everything. You should be able to get Miyabi. Like that is guaranteed, close to guaranteed pity. Yeah, that's like really close to guaranteed just in this patch alone. And that's not including if you've got Battle Pass or you've got the daily login.
Yeah, just all the other stuff should definitely get you at least guaranteed pity for one person.
Yeah. And so, like, if you're going hard on Harumasa, you can get constellations easily. I have a feeling that most people are going to be going, like, for Miyabi.
Well, especially since Harumasa, you'll definitely get.
Because you're guaranteed it. And or there are people who are saving up for these, the next faction, which is...
The Idol.
The Idol that's got this, like, robot girl. I'm not going to make any comments on that now because I'll inevitably say that I'm not interested and then smash cut to a month from now when I'm like, I have to have.
Yeah, Eric, it's so embarrassing how you constantly roll for characters.
I can't talk to you right now. I don't want to do this.
Speaking of new characters, there's new Bang Boos.
New Bang Boo.
Like Gulliver's Travel.
We get the Bang Boo who just busts through a door.
So, I forget where, he was a guest somewhere.
Okay.
Because there was one of the events where you were getting, like, Agent Boo, like, because I remember seeing him and he partnered, and I didn't realize he was supposed to be an agent. I thought he was the world's most aggressive delivery driver. Just kicking down the doors and saying, "Delivery for you," bang. But
so
yes,
please.
I'm so excited for him because just the whole kicking down the door, shooting you.
It's wild.
So that's cool. And then there's Brawler Boo, who literally just flies off, and then when you hit someone with a really good attack, he just goes in for the wombo combo and pile drives them.
I need to play around with some of the. So I've only used like the S rank ones, but it doesn't really matter. And I really want to play with like Brawler Boo or like Night Boo, who do these weird things.
Yeah. I still love Bag Boo, that like when someone hits your character, he gets all mad and he's like, "Oh, I'll cut you." No, yeah,
Bag Boo is ride or die.
They have really done a good job of, for things that you probably don't notice most of the time because you're focused on your own characters and doing your combos. All of the Bang Boos are really cool and fun.
There's so much love, and even like I was showing this to my son because I was playing and I didn't want to stop playing, but he came downstairs and he loves when I just cycle through the Bang Boos and the Bang Boo shop because they bounce each other out of the way.
Yeah, they're very aggressive.
But like I've looked at it for too long now. They all do it differently. Like,
oh really?
There's these little shifts in things. Like when Night Boo comes in in his little like horsey floaty and bounces the Bang Boo out of the way.
Oh,
and
that's
then lands
awesome.
So like even those little things, they've put a lot of attention, and it cracks my kid up. He loves it.
But speaking of Bang Boos,
yeah,
we're gonna pilot EOS.
We get to play as EOS
in the shifting over to the after they did the characters and the Bang Boos, they start talking about the events that are going to be coming in 1.4. And the big one that looks really cool and really exciting is where you pilot EOS. You wander around this hollow where you have to find secret paths and change the landscape and just go wild, just exploring as EOS, which looks super, super cool.
It looks really fun, and like there's some jumping and platforming element.
I don't know why. Maybe it was a mixture of the platforming and just because it's called the Pale Wasteland, so it's super like washed out. It reminds me a lot of Mirror's Edge.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Like, because there's still the bold colors to know where you're supposed to go, but everything else is kind of subdued and pulled back. And like this whole hollow we're going to be exploring is really weird, and there's camera angle based puzzles, which there's an indie game that's really good that uses camera puzzles, and I can't remember the name of it right. Somebody can comment and let us
Portal.
know. No. It's a different one. It's you take pictures.
Portal 2.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
but so it looks really cool. I like that they are some of the complaints that we had. Like we're kind of glossing over the TV mode changes because we've talked about TV forever. You can play TV mode, you can do it from not. But like the thing that we felt like we were losing when we lost TV mode as much was that like the disconnect between what Phaethon was doing and what the agents were doing. But having us be EOS in the space kind of brings that connection back.
I really like it because it's the first time you're going to see it in 3D, what it actually looks like to have EOS piloting them around.
Yeah.
And to quickly just touch on the changes to TV mode. So the changes that they're making to earlier chapters to help speed it up is you can either do the TV mode like normal, or you can skip and do the 3D EOS move where you're jumping around, you're doing a little platforming, and then you'll go talk to nodes and do each of the actual story beats, which is cool. So you get that choice. So they're not just cutting it out. So if you really like TV mode, or if you want to explore it as EOS, so now you get both. Now you're getting both versions of their design instead of just getting the old one, which especially if because you have to finish chapter 2 in order to start the new stuff. So if you're just picking it up, getting it ready for chapter or for 1.4, and you just want to run through the actual story and you don't want to do all the little weird stuff in TV mode, they gave you that. Well, you won't have that option because it won't come out until 1.4, but you'd be able to blow through chapters 1 and 2 in a weekend at most.
And like I'm curious if, just from my own like experience, can I go back and redo the early chapters and do the EOS
I would imagine you would be able to, because you can now.
I would like to be able to do that.
Because I have there was one chapter mission that I only got 2 of the data nodes or whatever they're called. So I went back and I did it. And so at that time you played through it as if it was your first time. So I imagine that because it's just going to be a toggle of whether or not you want the quick version or the TV mode. So I imagine if you just toggled it and then went back into the old missions, you could just play through them and kind of see what the difference in the actual narrative is going to be.
With all the free time I have, I like it. I think it seems fun. I think this has been a continuum for them, and they continue to work. Right? It's constantly been this like, here's what we want to do, here's what we want to see. How do we make this work for everybody? And the fact that like I love that they're still committing to that, and like there's just a constant flow of.
And I'll say, so far, they're actually taking the time and thinking about solutions.
Yeah.
Some games, people will complain and they don't like it, and they will just slap a big change to it, and people will just sit there and say, like, this isn't what the complaint was about. You heard what was the easiest fix, you slap that on, and now it's just a different version of this is bad.
They've preserved the new player experience in a way. Like, there are some other games I've played. I'm thinking of an MMO that I'm not going to name. It's a really good MMO. But you kind of have to pay the 1.0 tax of, like, they never really went back and changed that much out of the original launch of the game. It wasn't very strong. And so you end up doing a lot of this sloggy stuff that isn't representative of the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Until you catch up to where they made those changes.
And you hit that point and you can feel it, where everything just...
It's amazing.
It's kind of like, there's certain sitcoms where they didn't hit their stride until season 2, and they'll say, just get through season 1 and then it gets good, or they'll say, just skip season 1 entirely.
Yeah, they'll say in season 1, Andy's completely intolerable, so skip to season 2 and then you're good to go. Right? Like,
but they've also lowered the requirements to complete the chapter, so you don't have to, because obviously, as it was coming out, they wanted you to do as much of the content because there was going to be lulls. And now that they've got a backlog of actual story mission, they don't want you to have to sit through and do 8 hours of side quests in order to go on to chapter 2. They want you to be able to come in, knock out the stories, and then once you get up to current, then you can go back and knock out the side quests.
It's rare, and I like, this is a really difficult line to walk, but because gacha games kind of inherently don't want to respect your time because they want you to be playing the game as much as possible. But it really does feel like the devs for this game do want to respect the time you're putting into the game, so it feels like you are doing something or experiencing the things they want you to experience.
Well, because that's one of the biggest things that inevitably burns me out of gachas is when you have to spend 30, 40, an hour just doing the daily missions. There hits a point where it's not worth it. There are some days where I don't have the time to do my dailies for like another gacha. But here you can hop on. You can knock out the bare minimum daily requirement in 5 minutes.
It is so short that I just got back from traveling. I got onto my plane and realized there was no Wi-Fi on the plane. Between sitting down in my seat and us getting off the runway to where we lost Wi-Fi, I did all of my ZZZ dailies.
Yes.
Like, it was quick.
It's super nice, and that's where a lot of the extra stuff that they're adding, like the Infinite Tower of Pain, Arpeggio Fault, other stuff
which
like that.
Which I finished, by the way. I finally finished Arpeggio
Oh, yeah,
Fault.
and then, you also have your Vampire Survivor clone and all that. So you have extra stuff to do if you want. And another thing that I recently learned is you stockpile energy when you max out.
Yes, there is. Now, it is at a reduced rate.
It is, but it's still
optimizing.
Something. So that way, if you are in one of those situations where you can only do the bare minimum, you can still stockpile that, come back when you have the time. And you said, all right, cool, I have 1,000 energy stockpiled. Or in cases like Miyabi coming out and you're like, oh no, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. I didn't farm for her stuff, so now I'm going to have to punish myself by farming, or like in her case, her core skill, the material you'll need is for a fight that isn't released yet. So you can't farm that one particular piece. So then if you have a bunch of stockpiled energy, we've gotten so far out of the weeds now. We're just talking about basic mechanics.
It's what we do, right? We get very excited about very simple things in the game.
Anyway, so there's also a different Hollow event.
Yeah, there's another endgame mode too. Like, I feel like every time we meet, we talk like every 2 weeks, and it's like, here's a new Hollow Zero, here's a new endgame mode, here's a new way to prove that our game's not too easy to play. This one is called Deadly Assault. It's seasonal, so it's going to be rotating out with Shiyu defenses, I believe.
Okay. See, the way I read that was like it was going to be concurrent with it. It's like it.
They run 4 weeks, but a new one comes out every 2 weeks. So you have some flex, if I remember correctly.
So like one will be 4 weeks, and then the other one will switch 2 weeks in. So that way, every 2 weeks you'll have something new to do.
There's something new to do, but if you can't do it for some reason, you're not like in a really tight 2 week window.
Yeah.
This one, we've talked about like building teams tall versus building teams wide before. A lot of the current end game stuff want tall teams. They want you to really invest into one or maybe two. This one still kind of rewards that, but it also rewards having a wider roster. It's 3 bosses, and you cannot reuse units between the different bosses. The bosses are juiced up. They're like super strong, doped up versions of them. But what I'm excited about here is there's flexibility in how you score and how you do. It's not just kill this boss within a time.
Yeah, it's not time trial, or it's not surviving where you can't have a certain amount. Yeah, it's you get points for how much damage you do, but you also get essentially style points. Yes. So they'll have different mechanics. So, maybe it's either blocking their attacks or the one I really liked was when they mentioned inflicting disorder.
Let's say triggering disorders. We'll do that.
But yeah, so they'll have different. It's kind of like what they did with Lighter's 2D brawler thing, where they would have different score multipliers, and so you would fight around those score multipliers, and so so you'll have 3 bosses, and you only have to do 2. Yes,
I was about to say, you don't have to do all 3, but if you need, like, if you don't do as well on one of them and you need more points, you have like wiggle.
Yeah, it's because they said you need 6 stars, and so each boss can give you 3 stars. So especially if you're getting into ZZZ and you're not going to be able to beat them at their highest level early on, if you can do okay against all 3, or you can show off, and I'm sure at some point there will be an achievement or something for 3-starring all 3 bosses.
For 9 stars. And I mean, they may end up doing something just like you get more Denny's for 9-starring.
Or they may give you nothing and it's purely bragging points, like some of the events where you only need A rank and they're like you can do S, or some of them where they had the secret S plus, the perfect S. I forget what. There's always those where it's purely just bragging rights and there's no benefit at all.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I like that as an addition. I think then they also say that with Shiyu defense, if you S rank through level 4 of the 7, when a new Shiyu defense comes out, you can skip back up to 4.
Yes, so
like you still have to, you always got to do 5, 6, and 7.
I think 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Right.
So but it'll skip the first couple ones because it's especially if you're S ranking 4, then you're going to be able to easily S rank 1 through 3 because 4 is where it starts ramping it up. So
they're actually your level, whereas like everything before that, you're probably over level.
Yeah, so it just cuts out a little bit of that time. I was looking at that and I'm like, that's neat. It doesn't affect me too much, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. But it's one of those, it's just respecting your time where, it's retroactive too. So if you're currently at the point where you can only S rank up to 2, you'll at least skip 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So it saves you just that little bit of time. And so that way you can just knock them out, which is neat. I liked it because I think that's, there doesn't really need to be a change to Shiyu defense. I like how it is. And just it's that little thing where they're just like, here's an extra 10 minutes of your day back.
that's one of the things they implemented in Genshin that I was glad that they brought over here was like, just if it's already a gimme, let me jump into where I do need to actually kind of get a little sweaty or try a little bit harder to do these things. There's another Hollow Zero event that's like all combat. There's like stores you can go to upgrade, and like it's got that roguelike element come back into it again.
Yeah.
And then they boost character
abilities.
I did
see that, so that way if you have characters that you have, but you know they're on the back burner because you're not investing into them, you can still play them. They're not going to be the best version. It's kind of like in the trial modes when they have them at 50, 55 is probably where I would imagine. So if you've invested and you have a perfect Yanagi like I do, you don't need to do that. But if you have Soldier 11 who you haven't touched at all, you're like, all right, cool, I get to actually play her and try her out, and it's a good way for them to have you mess around with some of the other characters that you haven't really played, and then it encourages you to level them up. Speaking of leveling up, they have overhauled the leveling process.
Yes, they have. Talk to me about that.
So they have it. So now you can go in, you can do builds. So they will have their own basic build, and then the community can upload their own builds, which inevitably will happen very quickly. But then you basically mark what you want on the build. So if your build says these are your 2 W engines you want, these are your disk drives you want, it'll put little stamps on it. So if you pick up a disk drive that is for that character's build, it'll have their little face next to it, so you got that, and you can put it in. It'll be the same for their level up mats. So if you're like me and you're constantly having to go back when you're doing the core because you forget what the purple and the gold material you need is, and because they've already improved it once where you could just click on it and it would say take me to it. Now it's even easier. You can just go in, it'll say, hey, this character drops materials for these people that you have on your watch list.
Like it's taking things that are like, some of those things are in the game but are hard to do, and reduce the number of clicks it takes to get to it as well. Yeah,
those are it's quality of life. It's not changing or anything new. It's just making things that didn't need to take up time take up less time, which is nice because you get new characters. Or even if, like, for me, I am currently at the point where I am slowly getting other characters up to par. Yeah. So I'll forget because it's once every couple days I'll go and get stuff for Rena, and by that time I have forgotten what she has other than I know she's electric. Right. So if you follow her, you'll be like, all right, cool, yeah, I've got a little bit extra energy. I finished what I was doing for this character. Let me go farm for Rena real quick. Yeah, and I think did I remember correctly that you can like see what your people on your friends list have done as builds as well? I don't remember if it's specifically for friends, like social. I do know that they said if you do the official community, you can upload builds through that. So there may be have to upload our builds. People can copy our bad. Yeah. I need that feature for when I'm farming for disk drives, and there's a set that I'm targeting because I need this set for this character, and then I get the other set. Like, I need just to tell me, like, hey, Dingleberry, don't get rid of this because you already told me that Seth needs this. That is going to be very useful. They are also doing a very minor change of when you get rewards, they're going to be listed by rarity, not by when they're dropped. Bonus on the bottom. So it's just a small little detail. But that got me today. I was doing my morning stuff this morning, and I forgot that it was a double drop event. I find it, for disk drives, that's probably the biggest time where it pops up, because you can fill up with all your low-ranked drives, and then you won't even notice the S-rank that were the bonuses. When I'm doing my disk drive farming, like, I try to be very aggressive with what I mark as trash the moment I finish the fight. So, like, I'm flagging... There are many times where, like, I'll get 5 S-rank discs and mark all 5 of those as trash before I even hit play again, because I know what I'm looking for, and, like, I just don't want to have to deal with it later. I want to try to keep my I did not do this in Genshin, and now we're, like, 7 years in, and I'm kicking myself for it, of, like, my artifacts are a mess. And so I'm just trying to be really aggressive right now to be like,
only keep what you know you need or what is really, really good and burn the rest. So if I could have the game tell me, hey, Eric, I know you want to burn this, but actually that would be really good on Lycone, so you should keep that.
That would be nice. Well, it is.
That would be nice.
It will be nice because that is what they're implementing.
As long as we take the time to set it.
Yeah. Which is going to be super easy because if you do one of the builds, you'll literally flag everything you need.
It's just there. It's
simple as. No, simple as pie that's a thing.
Is that a thing?
It's not like you're being fit end of fiddle.
Easy as pie.
Yes, it's simple as simple pies. Speaking of
other little events, we're getting another HIA style like auto training event that just like is free materials, free experience point. Another tile puzzle events coming up pretty soon, which are just I love them. We talked about them last time. They're fun, they're easy, it's free stuff.
Yeah.
More important, we're getting
Arc Nights.
Bang Nights. We're getting Arc Booze.
I don't know if you can call them Bang Nights. I think that's an 18 plus video.
It's After Dark. You can get it on not the Google Play Store. It's a tower defense with Bang Booze. I think this is gonna be a little event that I hope becomes I think we talked about last time. Like I want it to become an arcade. Like I already know I like me a tower defense. I like the Bang Booze.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it'll be cool, and they showed there's going to be little combos and everything. So it looks like it'll probably just be like a lot of them. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be overly challenging, but it's fun. It's neat, and it's something different. It's not just rehashing the same stuff in different skins and calling it content.
They're experimenting with stuff.
Yeah. It's like college.
Yeah, you get it. I'm going to try a little bit of tower defense now. We're getting some new areas, and this is important to me. They showed us Port Elpis, and the only thing that I noticed was there are people fishing.
Ooh.
So now I just want fishing to happen. In there.
Then there's also the sewers.
There's Reverb Arena. There's a new, it's a whole freaking game, man. There's so much.
So and then there's a whole bunch of new stuff that comes with it. There'll be new bosses, new enemies, new Mew Mew, and everything that comes with Zhu Yuan and her Mew Mew costume. Because I still follow that conspiracy.
I have a theory for who the new boss is, Brian, but I don't want to say it on our podcast for later. I'll tell you off air.
It's Caesar.
But I saw a theory for who the new boss is.
Oh, really?
Very.
Oh, you know what? I think
you probably saw the same thing.
No. I haven't seen anything about it, but the way you said that immediately made me think of one person in particular.
Okay, when we get off, I want to talk about it. And then we'll bring it back up next episode. See if we were right.
Yeah.
New disk drives. They are continuing their disk drive. I'm 50-50 on this design approach where the new disk drives are 100% for the two new characters that are coming.
Yes.
One gives crit damage to anomaly characters, and that trigger freeze hitting, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Miyabi's a crit-based anomaly character. And the other one gives attack percent and damage after entering from a quick assist. Hey, guess what Harumasa really wants to do all the time?
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see if at some point they're happy with the amount of disk drives. Maybe they tweak them a little bit or something.
I wonder if it's just easier to balance really nuanced disk drives than having just generic ones you have to keep fixing.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you only had a handful of disk drives and you're like, all right, well, I'm just going to farm 800 of the anomaly disk drives and then inevitably
here's my 9th character wearing Woodpecker Electro. How fun.
Yeah. Not that they really matter because I throw them on and then I never think about them again once I get the right stats on them.
They are streamlining coffee again. All double drop rate coffees are pushed into one.
Which I'm split on.
Yeah.
I think overall it's better, but I did kind of like going and getting the different flavors of coffee. But I also see where that is they just kind of they went they're like it's artificially gating something that doesn't really need to be artificially gated.
My hope that right now it makes sense because we're not at max account level to always take the one that gives you 80 versus anything with 60 energy because that's 20 more energy that directly translates to account experience. So once we're at max level and we're not on that account experience grind, it might make more sense to actually use the double bonus drop coffees instead and just make things go that much faster.
The energy stacks infinitely. So if you can't actually play for a while and you just log in and drink the coffee, you can, whenever you get back, you can have like 700-800 energy just sitting there from drinking the coffee.
Really?
Yes. Because I did that one time when I couldn't really play. I was just logging in for a couple minutes and I would just drink that coffee. And when I came back, by the time I finally got to sit down, I think I was at about 800 energy.
I always get frustrated when I get my coffee and then I open my and it says, you have 320 energy. And I'm like, dang it, I maxed out. I didn't mean to max out. I wanted to always keep that bubble from popping. But some other little things here to wrap up. Things that we kind of knew were coming but are excited to see. All characters can free roam in the world.
Yes.
Including
beautiful
Ben. They even explicitly showed us Ben walking around. The
other thing I'm really excited for is date mode, as I've seen people refer to.
Date mode.
The quality time mode where you invite them out, you and your partner run around, and you go explore the city. As they said, there are specific wishes that they want, and then those will be probably pretty obvious. And then there'll be other things where if you just walk around with them enough, different areas will have mini event, like little triggers, and you'll talk about it, and then you'll get, trust, and you'll get polychromes and whatnot. I mean, like I like that there's a reward, even though like I've maxed out friendship with people. Yeah, even if you only do it the one time, you still get those one-time polychromes. And yeah, as so going forward, that is going to be the bond up, because Miyabi, Sukaku, and Harumasa will start with the bond hangouts instead of the old-fashioned phone calls.
And it's nice that we're getting Sukaku finally, because he's one of the ones that we've had for a while and didn't like. It's still weird to me. The weirdest one, and I don't remember if we talked about this, is Soldier 11. Who, if you've got Soldier 11, you can get her to almost max. She does not have her final quest.
Oh, really?
So, like, she was the first one I committed to, and it's like, there's like, 4 faces? She's stuck right on the edge of the last face, and you cannot move it forwards because it's not in the game.
And I think, I may be misremembering, but I think they're going to make it easier to trigger those quests. Because I've had it sometimes where it takes a little while for the quest to actually properly trigger. Now it's going to be once you're eligible to do it. They made it seem like once you're eligible, you've hit that trust rank, you can immediately go. It'll show up in your inner knot, and you can click on it and just go to it.
It's a holdover from the original version of the game where you actually had like the day cycle you couldn't play around with. What triggered it was getting their like the trust requirement to the max, and then starting a brand new day.
Oh, okay.
And so that was so if like you were using immersion mode at the HIA and you were just never progressing your day, those quests would never show up.
Gotcha.
Because they only trigger on a day reset. So right now, what you can do is essentially just like skip to the next morning, and that will trigger them. But after next week, it won't matter.
And does it also do it where it's only one person per day triggers?
I want to say you can get more than one per day, but I don't remember.
Because in my experience, and it's very limited, it seemed very much a once per new day. Because it would be every morning there would be one person who had a new mission for me, and then because I just finished Caesar and did a Yanagi one, and both of them started on a new morning.
Okay,
and that could just be purely coincidence,
right?
There's no telling.
In a week, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it will be this new version. The biggest thing, the 2 big things that we haven't talked about.
Vampire Survivors is getting a save and quit. I know that's
save and continue.
That is your most.
Now that I don't need it anymore because I've done everything. There's a save and continue feature for that game mode. And then the big change that like we've talked about a little bit previously is they are doing the ultimate split.
Yes.
So each agent gets their own decibels. They still gain decibels from the actions of others, which is good. And I imagine they can use that as a way of tweaking to make sure that characters like Zhuyuan or Harumasa, which really benefited from other people building up their gauge for them, will still have their ultimates for when you need them during a stun.
Yeah, because they didn't mention anything about that, and I mean I'm sure they didn't because that's some internal stuff about actually increasing, or I
Like
guess
the
technically
numbers.
it'd be decreasing the rate at which you gain decibels, and maybe it will be your main whoever the person you're playing will still gain decibels at the old rate, and then everyone else gets a diminished rate, or and like you said, that's going to be one of the things they can use to kind of tweak it. So if they're seeing that oh, you're generating way too much decibels for the people not getting a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
You just kind of ease off on that a little bit.
That also opens up for like a future character where that is their core support. Like
Yeah.
one of these idols might be like one of her passives just straight up increases decibel generation for the whole team. And so now you've got this really cool like teammate steroid
Yeah.
pumping out more ultimates, whereas right now, like ultimates are almost a like I forget I have them some.
Yeah. It's also I hold on to them because I'll wait until I proc.
It's a potion in an RPG. I gotta have it for the right time.
But there's never it's the right time is wait till their stun pops and then they take the 200% damage. Meanwhile, if I had just done it as soon as possible, by the time the stun actually went off on the big boss who gains super slow stun anyway, I'd rip off one or two ults anyway.
Yeah.
But
you could have actually done something to it.
Not like I'm currently struggling with most of the content anyway, so it's kind of a moo point.
Yeah, but I mean, it will be a change.
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff coming out, man.
No, it's kind of been the track record of every time they do their special program, they introduce the new characters, they make all the new events and stuff, and then every single time there's been consistent honing of the gameplay loop and everything, just making it a more enjoyable process and not less, or even just kind of letting it just sit.
And it still feels like the game playing.
Yeah, there's not
feels good.
There's been no changes where it felt like they had just removed why you started playing the game.
Exactly. Brian, as we wrap up, I kind of want to put you on the spot like I did last time. We talked about a lot of things. What is the thing that you're, I guess, maybe most excited about, interested in seeing?
No, the thing I'm going to be most excited for is that Hollow event, the Pale Wasteland. That one looks the most unique, the most interesting. Because obviously Miyabi looks super cool, and she's going to be with Bae number 3, aka Yanagi, because there's so many Baes.
Sure.
Well, I guess technically Yanagi's Bae 1, because she went to the top of the list, and then anyway, I'll have to do a whole episode breaking down the Bae watch.
When I'm really sick, you'll have Brian's. That would be a great filler episode, Brian. Is Brian's Baywatch of just you ranking all of the women in ZZ. Because I was too sick to record in that.
But yeah, no, I think that's what I'm most excited. I looked at that, and that one piqued my interest the most. It looks like it could, especially depending on how much there is actually to find. I think that looks like it could be a really cool, fun event, and getting to play as Eos finally and running around with my cute little stumpy legs.
It looks fun. The bang boo sound effect.
Eric, I will pose to you a similar question. What are you least excited for?
What am I least excited for?
No, what are you most excited for?
I want to know how this story culminates. Like the moment they said during the video, this is the climax of the first arc of the narrative. And I'm like, but the game just came out. How could that be? I want to know, like, I really want to see how they take all these little disparate pieces that they've been playing with and all these factions that have been really interesting in their own spaces, but kind of living in their own bubbles, and pull them together. And like, what is that going to set up for next?
Yeah.
I'm so excited from that little teaser we got at the end of the Sons of Caledon arc, where there was like, hey, just a reminder, these guys are goofy and there's some cool things, but there's some stuff going on. Like, I really want to know where the narrative is going and what are they going to set up? Because they've been really good about like feeding us lines. I want to know where they're going, like, hey, by the way, that was cool, right? There's stuff.
There's also one more thing I forgot that we didn't mention. Yes. They are releasing the official soundtrack, so you won't have to have a YouTube playlist of their music. You will be able to just have the music in an easily accessible format.
Yes.
So that I'm really excited to, so I can finally listen on repeat that lo-fi Victorian horror theme music that they had that's only been in like 2 missions that I absolutely loved.
That's only shown up like twice. Yeah, man. That's a nice addition.
Also, you'll be able to hide your shame when you listen to Bernice's song on repeat because it'll only be your knowledge of how many times you listen to it.
Don't tell anybody. It's a good song. Brian, let's wrap up, bud. This was fun. I'm excited. We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk. 2 weeks, we'll have this in our hands.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to, at some point, we'll have to circle back to lighter, but it won't be next episode because we'll have our hands full of small samurai.
Exactly. Also, next episode is queued for the 26th. If you are someone who partakes in certain what's the right way to say this? If you're
Christmas.
a Christmas person, it's the day after Christmas. It's a holiday time.
Boxing
We're gonna
Day.
do our best to get our episode out.
You'll be able to bear with us while you're running around as Ben.
As a bear. As the bigger
And
bear.
that's the end of the podcast. Turn it off.
You did it. Cut it.
Bye.
Bye.